Principle number 2 is honor your hunger. So this says, keep your body biologically fed with adequate energy and carbohydrates. Otherwise, you can trigger a primal drive to overeat. Once you reach the moment of excess hunger, all intentions of moderate, conscious eating are fleeting and irrelevant. Learning to honor this first biological signal sets the stage for rebuilding trust in yourself and in food. So honor your hunger. I think this is so powerful because when we think about how we've been conditioned in our society with the diet culture, we have been told that it's somehow good to suppress your hunger, right? So just like think about that for a second. Like take a moment, take a breath. We've been told that it is good to suppress a biological urge, a biological way of being. And then we have been told that we should be the ones to beat ourselves up when we aren't suppressing well enough, right? We should muster up more willpower, like we talk about in our course. We should, well, just to be clear, we don't talk about mustering up more willpower. We talk about the issues when that we think that is a solution, right? And we can see how, as we peel back the layers of this, you can see how those sort of quote unquote solutions come in response to unnatural guidelines, right? So if we're being told to suppress our hunger, and by the way, in the diet culture, it's not typically said that way, right? But we are subtly told like eating less is better, low calorie, those kind of things. Don't give in to cravings. So we're sent those sort of messages, which at the basis of it is don't honor your hunger, suppress your hunger. And then when we're not able to do that well, because it's not biologically accurate, it's not biologically natural, then we are told, then we have all these interesting quote unquote solutions that are really just band-aids, right? For an unnatural way of being, an unnatural rule. They're thrown at us like muster up more willpower, get in an accountability group, so on and so forth. But hopefully you can see here that what a true solution would be is to align with our biology, to align with what is natural. And a part of that, a starting point, as they say, is honoring your hunger. And so I encourage you to think about that moving forward, just the vast difference between the expectation of suppressing hunger versus the expectation of honoring your hunger. And I love that they end this, the summary for this second principle with, this helps you rebuild trust in yourself and in food. And I think that's I think that's a huge thing to highlight, because that is something that intuitive eating has really helped me do, is rebuild trust, not just in my body, but in myself. You know what I mean? And I think it's powerful to use food in that way, where we can, this thing that we have to do every day, multiple times a day, which is eat, right? Instead of being in a relationship with it where we are using it as a tool, so to speak, to mistrust ourselves, to give our power away to something outside of ourselves, whether, again, that's rules or a protocol or an expert, so on and so forth. If we can switch that and begin to use food as a tool to build our trust in ourselves, like just feel the power in that for a moment. And I guess as I'm speaking all that out, just think about, a meal on a plate right now, and take a moment to recognize that that meal is neutral, right? It's not good or bad. It's just a neutral thing, right? And what determines how we feel is the relationship we have with it. So we are in relationship with everything in our life. It's not just with other people, right? And the quality of that relationship is determined by how natural the dynamics are, right? And by natural, I mean like what is at the root here. So in this case with food, it's important that we think of food in terms of our biology. If we're trying to override our biology, as it talked about here in the second principle of honoring hunger, this is not going to go well. But when we can begin to move in the direction of what is natural for our biology, then we begin to move in a direction with food where the relationship becomes healthier and healthier. And we know that because we feel more free. You know what I mean? So in any relationship, whether it is with another person or it is with anything else, right? We're in relationships with everything. We're in relationship with time, money, your stuff, your food, your clothes, everything, right? So in any relationship, you can know it is getting healthier if you are feeling more freedom. That's the indication, always. And so that's going to be the case with food as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you found this content helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Also, if you're wondering how to become healthier, I've created a free masterclass for you that is truly your ultimate wellness guide. It's called Fit and Fabulous for Life: 7 Secrets that'll help you find your healthy living sweet spot. If you're intrigued, you should see a link to it on your screen now. You'll also find a link to it in the description box of this video. Thanks again for tuning into this video, and I hope you'll consider checking out my free Fit and Fab Masterclass.